Mario is dying, and there's no way for us to save him. Hey guys, Sam here with DLife HD. Today we're going to be talking about the death of Mario, coming up on March 31st.
Switch it up. Switch it up. I was a worker, had to upgrade to a boss. Switch it up. Used to live in the hood, but had to upgrade to a loft. Switch it up.
At the time of this recording, we are just a few days away from Nintendo pulling the plug on several Mario games. First off, Mario 3D All-Stars Collection is going to be pulled from the eShop and no longer shipped to retailers. Mario 35 is being removed from the eShop and will no longer be playable. Even those who have already downloaded it, the servers are being taken down. In addition to that, Nintendo is also taking down Fire Emblem, which was available for a limited time and has never been available in English ever. And so this game was available very briefly and is going to be taken down as well. Nintendo is killing all of these games, and the answer to why is unknown. We are sitting here wondering, Nintendo, why? Why are you removing these great games? In addition to just Mario All-Stars being a somewhat lackluster collection, the news that Nintendo would be taking it down left so many fans angry. Myself included, because it felt like in order to excuse their shoddy port job, Nintendo was creating an artificial need to go buy the game because it was limited time. I got it the day it came out. I am guilty because I realized there's really no way I would be able to boycott this game. If I chose not to buy it, the 8 million other people who bought it would still buy it, and so my lack of purchase would probably not send the message. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Nintendo really listens very often, so even if we did send a clear message to them, they'd probably just still do whatever they wanted to do. They are the richest company in Japan, and they are one of the biggest names in video games worldwide. Anyway, how does this make me feel? Well, pretty sad. First of all, I just don't want Mario 3D All-Stars to be unavailable. There are so many people who haven't played these games before, and while this might not be the best way to play them, it's still an incredibly viable way. And there are so many people with Switches now that I would love for them to be able to play these games. Especially something like Mario Galaxy, which feels like just putting it up to HD makes it feel like it's hardly aged a day. Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, you can tell those games are a bit dated, but seriously, when it comes to Galaxy, that game is just as good as it was in 2007. I want younger generations to be able to play these games because not everyone is going to have a Wii. And I know one thing, when I have kids, I'm going to want them to play these games, and it would be probably a lot easier for me to set up my Switch than it would be for me to set up my Wii. Especially because, parts for systems go bad. And by the time that I have kids and I'm raising them and everything, it would probably be a lot easier to do service on my Switch if it was having problems than it would be to go out and dig out a Wii or a Wii U. Point is, game preservation is pretty important. The more accessible we make games, the easier it is for everyone to experience them. And when it comes to games like Mario 64, which revolutionized 3D, and then games like Sunshine and Galaxy, which are just fun and essential games in the Mario timeline, well, we want those games to be available. There are plenty of games out there that are not available to play, and we wish they were, but those tend to be more niche games. These are mainstream Mario games. Mario is one of the biggest faces of games everywhere, and so of course these games just deserve to be played. But Nintendo is kind of doing what any protective IP owner would do, and locking them away once again. Probably so they can sell them back to us later on. Now, here's a rumor. Some people are saying perhaps the reason that they are doing this is because they want to reveal a service for the Switch similar to NES and SNES with the online service. They want to reveal maybe a Nintendo 64 service. Or maybe they want to test a GameCube service. And they were just sort of testing the waters with these emulators to see if people would be receptive to them. And if they did have a 64, like Mario 64 for free with online, it might make people who bought the game feel a little bit cheated. So by making it a limited release, they would feel maybe a little bit less cheated. I don't know if this really holds water. I feel like Nintendo's whole entire virtual console, system has been flawed from the very get-go. With the way that they made you rebuy your games on Wii U, and now you just lose your entire library. Imagine if with Netflix, you had all these access to all these shows, and then you bought a new TV, and they were all gone, and you had to buy a new Netflix subscription. Or imagine if you bought some movies on Amazon Prime, and then you got a new TV or a new Blu-ray player or whatever, and you had to buy them again. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And it's a little different with a gaming console, but it just seems like they would make it where they want to make these games carry over. So I don't know what Nintendo's thinking with this. I understand it would make a lot of sense for them to add as much value to the online service as possible, even if they had to raise the price, just adding all these 64, GameCube, maybe Wii games. But I really don't see them doing that because, as we've seen, they're fully willing to sell us these games at $60. They're willing to sell us a Wii game, Skyward Sword, for $60, which is more than it cost originally. And they're willing to sell us Wii U games for a full $60. Even games like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which was originally, I believe, $40 or $50 on Wii U. Full $60 price tag on Switch. So I don't think Nintendo is going to be passing up on money. With the SNES games and NES games, it feels like that's pretty much the lowest where they could not charge us $60, but they're fully willing to charge us $60 for other games. The pricing scheme of all these things is so inconsistent though, so we really can never tell. I mean, with third-party games, we got Doom 64, which is a 64 game for only $5. So I guess it just depends on how you value your game, but Nintendo seems to say everything is, they want it to be pretty expensive. So that's that. Let's talk about Mario 35 now. I never played it. Here's why. I just couldn't bring myself to playing it. I knew I would get addicted to it and would want to play it so much. And I'd want to unlock everything. And even if I did unlock everything, I would feel so sad when it went away. There'd be no point. And so I didn't want to get addicted to the game and not be able to play it. So I just haven't played it, and it feels so tragic. But if it was available like Tetris 99 is forever, I would feel so much more motivated to play it and put time into it. And yeah, that's kind of the feelings I'm having about this whole situation. I just don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what in the world they're thinking, but I can't help but play Mario 3D All-Stars and feel a little bit weird about it. Feels like it just is some game that I shouldn't have, because pretty soon no one else will be able to have it. It's just very strange. And I hope Nintendo has a really good reason for this besides just artificially driving up sales. And if they don't, well, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed, frankly. So I hope they learn from this and don't do it again, because we've started to see more and more limited releases as time has gone by. And I don't think it's a good look for the company, and I don't think it's a consumer, pro-consumer move. So anyway, Nintendo, if you're listening to this, we'll see you March 31st. You'd better have some good reason for us that you're doing this. And if not, shame on you. But anyway, guys, what are you guys thinking about this limited release thing? Did you get Mario 3D All-Stars? Have you played Mario 35? Did you get Fire Emblem? You know I did. Well, let us know in the comments below what you think of it all. And of course, if you want to keep talking to us about this, you can hit us up on our Discord server, which we'll have a link to in the description, as well as our Twitter account. where we like to talk about these kind of things and post gameplay of the latest releases. And until next time, guys, I've been Sam, you've been watching DLife HD, and remember, always stay one up.